right, all you listeners to the madness, welcome back to Under the Radar. And a little bit of good news, bad news with this part of the show, folks. Bad news for those who are hoping for people to get maimed for unnecessary fame in the wild world of stunts. Yeah, the stunts this week is in, once again, the blue Bermuda Triangle like it was those many months ago, and we can't even pull up the clips that we had planned for it, so we had to think outside the box. So without further ado, the good news is we decided to reach right into that random bucket and pull off a couple of games from a planet far away from here for a very special returning edition of the Planet of the Games. And the first game that we have up comes from the itch.io page of LYD1A with their said game, Midnight Train. And this game automatically reminds me of Corpse Party. Yeah, definitely reminds me of Corpse Party. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that you can play alongside with your friends. And the only tip we have for this game for those who decide to play it is to watch out for traps, especially red X's that are on the ground that you decide to walk on that gets you squished by a grandfather clock that's thrown halfway across the other side of the room. What sort of trap is that? But besides getting killed by time literally and figuratively, the next game that we have up comes from the developers Binary Zoo with their said game, Echoes Plus. And this game automatically reminds me of a neon 1980s version of the classic game of Asteroids. And the reason why in the world we said that, folks, is because of all the pretty colors that you'll experience while playing this game. Because I do know Asteroids came out somewhere near the 80s. Or did it? We'll have to check that later. But either way, the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is not to get caught in between asteroids. And yeah, here's hoping in the near future for this game on the side of all of that is that they give you some form of special attack that allows you to take out the bigger asteroids with one shot. You know, fingers crossed that you can. And the next game that we have up comes from none other than the GameJolt.com page of GameJolt.com with their said game, Donkey Me. And this game automatically reminds me of a movie anthology version of Donkey Kong. Yeah, definitely reminds me of that, with the fact that you can play as not only Han Solo, I do believe Ripley from Aliens, and also Indiana Jones from, well, Indiana Jones. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there for this said game is to make sure you grab the power-up just in case you can't jump over the other enemies' heads while you're playing this game. Especially any of those face huggers from the alien version of this Donkey Me game. Yeah, just a little bit of advice for you. And the only thing we hope for in the near future for this game is that it comes with the different soundtracks from the movies in 8-bit form as you're going through these levels. Yeah, because I would love to hear an 8-bit version of the Indiana Jones theme for that Indiana Jones level. And the next game that we have up comes from none other than the Game Jolt page of GameJolt.com once again with their said game, Jamiroquai Game. And the funny thing about this is, folks, it's from the music video Virtual Insanity, where you have to avoid a whole bunch of different chairs for this music video as the song plays. Or avoid as many as you can before you get hit to receive some form of high score. And the only tip of advice I have for you fans out there is not to get mesmerized by the amount of chairs that is included for this game. And the maestro asked me, what does this game remind me of? I would have to say Frogger. Definitely Frogger. With the exception that the cars are coming at you and you don't have to cross the street to get hit. And the next game that we have up, besides a classic MTV music video that I got a feeling would be pretty cool as an actual challenge for someone to do in real life, comes from the itch.io page of Grade to Scale with their said game. My garbage cat wakes me up at 3 a.m. every day. I'm not kidding, that's the actual name of the game. And this game automatically reminds me of an 8-bit version of the classic old Canada cartoon, The Cat Came Back, the very next day. When also a little hint of Don't Wake Daddy, with the exception that you don't have dice or a spinner to try to wake him up. And the only tip of advice that we have for you fans out there for this game is to make as much racket as you can to try to wake him up by 3 a.m. And here's hoping in the near future that one of the things you can do to wake him up is knock the legs off the bed for him to slide toward all the objects in this room for it to hit him in the head, Three Stooges style. Because I got a feeling that's the only way he's gonna wake up, because I saw a picture, a lamp, and even a fishbowl get knocked over, and he's still out like a Christmas tree light. And the next game that we have up, besides that heavy sleeper we mentioned during that last game, comes from none other than the itch.io page of Jahal with their said game, Little Invader. And this game automatically reminds me of, well, Space Invaders. Definitely reminds me of Space Invaders. And here's hoping in the near future, since you're the actual alien spaceship trying to take out the people who tried to take out the aliens before, here's hoping that they give you some form of special bomb to take them all out at once. Or at least a special power-up to take them all out at once, since it's 1 against 3. Which, in my opinion, not very fair, but at the same time, seeing the fact that that spaceship is fast, you might stand a chance, who knows? And a tip of advice for this game is to make sure you bob and weave during this, because those shots will come in all directions if you're not careful. And avoid staying in the corner too long, because you can get trapped there. And the last but not least game that we have up for this special part of the Planet of the Games return comes from the itch.io page of SFBIM with their said game, All Hail SMORP, or SMORP. Why in the world that sounds like something from either Camp Lazlo or something from Invader Zim. And this game automatically reminds me of, well, besides the two things we just said before, also reminds me a little bit of Wipeout, with a splash in there of a vertical moving Space Invaders. And here's hoping in the near future for this game, besides getting a chance to upgrade your said spaceship to take out these kids or whatever sort of object you're going after, but also a chance for you to design your own level to stump your friends at home. Because like we say all the time around here, folks, I got a feeling you independent gamers will come up with something so crazy, it would definitely boggle the minds of several people out there. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out any other cool games that comes from a planet far away yet close enough to be beamed into your homes within less than 24 hours, you can head on over to the Free Game Planet page, only known as freegameplanet.com, to check out a whole bunch of cool and extraterrestrial games that are just out of this world. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back to this music, and when we return, we'll be back with another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week right after this. So don't touch that dial just yet, folks, and stay tuned.